Welcome to my show, Trendsetter. Well, I really got inspired when I just spent a little bit time with her. She started her journey, a startup, interesting startup, which we'll discuss about that at the age of 50. People always say 50. Oh my God! First, I also got shocked. So, what is this spicy, interesting journey about that? We'll find out, and we'll come to know age is just a bar. Really, I mean, you'll be surprised. So let me introduce you this lady who's 50. I don't know, she'll be feeling good or not that I'm again and again,
I'm
telling her about that
54.
58. But she has startup, and what is the startup is all about? So let's find out more, and let me welcome you, Alkaman. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I was
you.
really like, when I was spending a time before this interview, I was just exploring so much about you. I mean, I was saying, oh my God, I didn't plan so many questions, but now you have created so many questions in my brain. So first of all, I would like to know how you started this journey, startups, and how got inspired. What is your journey professionally, what you are, from where you are, so that we can have a little bit background about you.
Well, I'm an ex-banker. I worked with one of India's leading private sector banks for almost 19 years, and
Oh
it
my
was
God.
in the payment business. So I've seen all sides of the payment business: issuance, acquiring. How do you mitigate risk? What are the kind of policies you need to have in place? What are the kind of checks and balances you need to have in place? And as an entrepreneur, you have to wear multiple hats. So when I'm wearing the sales guy's hat, I'm like, karo, sab kuch karo.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, when the applications come in, and then I wear the risk hat and say, no, let's not do this.
Yes.
Right?
Huh.
So, but yes, my ex-employer empowered me with a lot of knowledge on how to run the business. And, one thing extremely good about them was that each of our departments was like a profit center. So we were like the entrepreneurs of our department. We had complete say on who we hire, how we hire. If we don't, get our numbers, then how do we work on strategies to get better numbers? So that part of it already came with the experience.
Okay.
And I always tell people that you want to start up a entrepreneurship, a venture, please take some experience and then start something on your own. Just don't start it because of the fire or the passion you have in your heart, because you don't know what the real world is like after college. You still need to learn what the real world is like.
But we are seeing a lot of young people, like they are getting into this profession of starting their own ideas, and they have been successful. What is your take on that?
Unfortunately, for every success, there are 10 failures. And we would have a lot less failures if they knew how to run their business. No business school in the world can equip you for the kind of heartaches and the successes that an entrepreneur journey brings. It's not possible at all for someone fresh out of college to be able to know exactly everything, how everything works, how does, take just a D2C brand, right? They would have the bookish knowledge of how to build the brand, how to do the marketing, how to create visibility, how to approach customers, and then they won't know anything about how to manage the accounting.
Money,
They
the
will
main
bleed
part.
and they won't know that they're bleeding, or they will know that they're bleeding but they don't know how to control the bleed and how to make it a profitable business. And this can only come if you have worked somewhere, right? What are the kind of licenses required? What are the kind of compliance stuff to be done? This knowledge, unfortunately, our education system does not impart actual workforce ready knowledge to anybody. And that's why I always suggest, please get some experience, please 2 to 3 years of corporate experience, if possible, and then in the manufacturing industries, because that is where it is a lot more diverse in terms of, you have various departments, you get to learn how each department functions. Because when you are an entrepreneur, you are the chaprasi, the mailman, and the guy who seals the courier packets, Also, the guy who goes to the courier office and hands over the packet
It's
and
your
pays for
baby,
it,
right?
right?
You have to make it
When a
grow.
courier comes, there is nobody to take a courier on your behalf and sign for it and then file it. You have to go through it. You have to check, what needs to be done. You have to file it yourself. So it's very important to have these basic knowledge base or skill set before starting a journey. I'm extremely happy for those entrepreneurs who have been able to, make a success of themselves. I'm really happy for them. A lot more would be successful if they had this additional tools.
But do you think when you, I mean, again, I have to mention that, I hope you don't mind 50, like as you said,
I'm 54.
Now you're 54. Okay. So you started your journey when you were 50.
When I was 51, yes.
Okay, so but maybe in the 50 you've started thinking whether should I go or not. What makes you to take that step? Because you were already well settled in your job, and then at that time, we always think, okay, up now it's time for relaxation. Okay, we can balance the work and the life, or the struggles we have gone through. So that time you were thinking, okay, let me get out of my good job, the comfort zone, and get into my own brand. What makes you to think that? What inspired you?
Well, a lot
And
of
age,
things.
especially people say, oh, as
Age,
early you start
age
your
is
business, it's
just
good.
a number. Age is just a number. Um,
You prove that, no
I
doubt.
see. I come with the overall work experience of about 30 years.
Wow.
Right? I've worked in different industries, right from selling generator sets, right?
Okay.
Switchboards, heavy electrical stuff, to selling yellow pages. I was part of the team that set up the first McDonald's outlet in the country,
Wow.
in Delhi.
Okay.
Right? I've done exhibitions, then I joined a bank. So I have a proper multifold experience. I always wanted to do something on my own. But I had commitments. I had responsibilities that I had to take care of. So once I was done with taking care of my responsibilities, I decided to live for myself.
Okay, so you get
And I
ready to
have my
take a
daughter's
risk.
full support for this.
So you were ready to take a risk, you mean to say that?
Absolutely. You need a backup. You need
Yeah.
some kind of a backup, right? You need to be able to have somebody to fall back on
Yes.
when you start your entrepreneur journey.
So how this Pay 8 came to your mind and you started? What is this all about, if you can elaborate on that?
Well, we are a payment gateway platform. We help businesses who are selling online to be able to sell like an Amazon or a Flipkart, right? We help them with getting them multiple modes of payment. We offer more than 160 plus modes of payment. We help with the routing of transactions. We help with reconciliations. So we do the entire back office part of the work for them. So you have to remember that the mid-sized businesses only have time for one thing, which is increasing their sales.
Yes.
Right? If I am able to take away the back end portion of their heartache, they will be able to succeed much better. Right? So that is what I do. I work primarily with mid-sized businesses. Of course, our payment stack is good enough for any of the large enterprise clients as well. But we've chosen to work with the smaller ones who cannot afford a huge team, a huge infrastructure, etc.
So when did idea click to you, and how people responded to that, and what was your Reiki on that particular, before starting this business? What goes in your mind?
Well, the business started primarily because being in the payment industry, being in the payment space, that is what I knew for the last 19 years that I've worked with my ex-employer. And when the servers at my ex-employer's place went down for 10 days continuously, a lot of our merchants, businesses who were using our payment gateway, who were using our EDC machines, asked me, Alka, we have given you business because you came and asked us for business. Now, if your bank server is not working, route us elsewhere. As a banker, I can't. But as a fintech technology service provider, I can. I can route them to multiple banks, multiple payment gateways. They don't have to worry about their credibility, because today, if you want to buy this beautiful watch that you're wearing, right? You go to website A. if you're not able to make the payment, you will not say the payment gateway isn't working. You will say that the website isn't working. The website is down.
Okay.
You will go somewhere else and you will buy the same watch, maybe even 20 bucks higher. Right? For that business, which is a small size business, he's lost a customer.
Yeah.
Now, in the entrepreneur world, we talk about CAC, customer acquisition cost. Right? So, when we're talking about the customer acquisition cost, we have to remember that it's very expensive to bring a customer in. But once you lose a customer, that customer's gone
Not
forever.
Yeah.
He's not going to come back. When you have to buy a watch tomorrow for your daughter, you may not go to
Same
the
platform.
store A, right? You may say, no, their system is a little finicky. There may be a new guy C who's come in. Okay, so you may not go to A, you may not go to B where you bought the watch. You may go to C, right? If that guy has a payment problem as well, you just go to an Amazon. Now, on an Amazon kind of a platform, it's extremely good that sellers are able to sell more. But the catch is that they have to participate in the gala.
True.
Right? Which means that they spend a lot more
True.
than when they are selling individually. So these businesses that are selling individually is what I'm helping.
That's the idea of clicked in your mind.
Absolutely.
And it worked, right? It's been
It
how
works.
many
I
years?
have paying customers. We are 3 years old company now. We have customers who are working with us.
Big lines.
None of them are big clients.
Okay.
All small guys.
Okay.
If I have to tell you, in Hyderabad, I work with the likes of Shah Electronics, which is, I think, the biggest customer that we have, right? We work with telephone, mobile stores. We work with a few education institutions. We work with a few diagnostic labs, healthcare.
So one idea changed the life. So what was the interesting part, like investment? What was your first investment you have to take out from your pocket or first to invest?
Well, if you don't invest, you can't form a company in the
Of
country.
course, but what was your
right?
first investment? It was a big amount or
So
small?
it was 20 lakhs
My God, 20 lakhs.
between
okay.
my co-founder and me.
How much you invested, like your money?
So mine is 16 lakhs.
Okay, yours was 16. And now you made it?
Sorry, 15 lakhs and his
15.
is 5 lakhs.
Okay, so from 15 lakh, it's like full flag
So
is up.
today our valuation pre-money, we are looking to raise funds right now, and our pre-money valuation is about 70 crores.
Wow, great journey in 3 years. Lot of hard work, I must say.
Yes.
So I mean, with 15
I've
lakh, you made
forgotten what
70
is
crores.
Sundays. I've forgotten all other holidays.
You worked hard, really.
We worked hard. And I've been very lucky. My team has worked hard with me as well.
So what tip you tell to all the women out there? You know, we always, somewhere they get a boundary, you know, oh, this much is your age to work this much, or you have responsibility, and then you should have a family support. So many, you know, myths and auras is always put in the woman's mind. How you cross it? Because as you've been very independent and, you know, you've been also had a great struggles in your life. How you take this and give inspiration to other women there?
Well,
We look for a man support. We always like, okay, somebody should be there to support her. And you are a woman who done everything on your own, right?
Well, you have to. Would you ask the same question of a man if he was doing it?
They always say, oh, I have my
wouldn't.
wife taking care of kids or something like that. But you were taking care of kids also.
Yeah.
So I would like to know about that journey. How you came to Hyderabad? You're not from Hyderabad,
I'm
right?
not from Hyderabad. I was born and raised in Bangalore.
Okay.
I got promoted. My boss sent me to Hyderabad, said, go, we need an area head, go.
Oh.
And I will bring you back in 3 years. But 3 years never happened.
That's so now that you're a Hyderabadi. Now Hyderabad loves
I
you.
don't have a single address proof of Bangalore anymore.
Okay. So everything is in Hyderabad now.
Yes.
So then after that?
So I continued staying in Hyderabad. I worked across, while I was based in Hyderabad, I worked across geographies, handled the entire South. The last posting that I had was where I was managing all the large strategic accounts pan-India. So there was a lot of travel.
So because of work, you come to Hyderabad. You
I
tasted the
I came
city.
only because of work. Yeah, when I came to Hyderabad, I didn't know a word of Telugu.
Okay.
I could, and so because I'm from Bangalore, I could read the
Okay.
language, but I didn't understand what I was reading.
Okay, I understand.